They wanna know what an American warrior is. Yeah. Anybody that served in the United States military honorably. Yeah.
Welcome, this is the American Warrior Radio Show. I'm Garen Cohn, an Air Force veteran, founder of AVET Project, and also an accredited claims agent before the VA, and your host. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. military, you're in the right place, American Warrior Radio Show. So grab a pen and paper and strap in, because we're about to launch this episode.
Yeah, American warrior. Okay, let's get it in for the women and servicemen. I came prepared and brought my game like ESPN.
American Warrior Radio Show's bumper and intro music is graciously provided by none other than war hero himself, Stephen Hobbs. Thank you, Stephen. Set the tone, my brother.
By the way, I keep the fams buzzing. I ain't worried about the outcome, the message gon' be clear. You can hate it or love it, but your freedom is still here.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of American Warrior Radio. I'm Garen Cohn, founder of AVET Project and American Warrior Radio and AVET Appeals, with my good friend Christian, who goes by the stage name DJC Money.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here with me. We're going to cover a topic that a lot of folks may not know a lot about. And as I've said on previous episodes, anything and everything you ever wanted to know about VA benefits is available at va.gov. Your dad has used the site, I'm sure.
Yes.
In this brief segment of American Warrior Radio, burial benefits. If you know somebody that's nearing the end of their life, or you just want to plan ahead, which I think is a great idea, then you need to know the nuts and bolts about what burial benefits are available. Now, think of it this way. Christian, as a young man, may end up dealing with his own father's demise, hopefully many, many decades from now. Yes, there are qualifiers. Understand there's potential benefit. And honestly, the first thing you want to do as you go about this process is pull up the application. I've got it in my hand. It's pretty lengthy, but a lot of it is just, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, one page of instructions, one page of information on what you can select as a burial marker, and then here's another page of burial markers. So there's a lot. Here, Christian, make yourself useful. Hold on to that. But then we get down to the nuts and bolts, and it's the claim for standard government headstone or marker. Look, folks, simple form. When you deal with very reputable memorial gardens like Fountainhead here in Palm Bay, they're going to take care of a lot of this business for you. They'll have the application. They're more than likely going to want the DD-214. You know what that is. It's a discharge document. Everybody's got one. They need that because they have to determine your honorable service. Once they've made that determination, most reputable memorial gardens and funeral service providers are going to do the filing for you, which is a big plus because at that time, nobody wants to be dealing with paperwork. Nevertheless, getting a primer on what to expect, simple form, gives you some good information on what's available. And as Christian and I were walking through Fountainhead, what did we see? We saw all those little markers.
Yeah, actually the first one right there.
Which is Christian. Yep. Yay! DJC Money. Does it have a DJC Money symbol? No, they don't.
No, they should have.
But they should. Maybe they will one day. Look, there's all kinds of selections you can make and that the government is going to pay for. Here's another quick point I want to make. If you're going to be buried in a national cemetery, they're going to take care of a lot of these odds and ends for you. They're going to select whether your loved one goes in a columbarium or into the ground. And as a matter of fact, this is a private cemetery here at Fountainhead. Your loved one had military service. You want to go through the process of selecting the marker and the headstone. You fill out the forms. Understand that when you do the math behind it all, the VA is going to require you to submit receipts. For a non-service connected death, that means a man or woman who served honorably in the United States military passes away, but they didn't pass away because they had a brain tumor which was diagnosed in service. Let's say they passed away from a car accident, not service connected. $300 reimbursement. Not a lot, but it is some. It helps defray a bit of the cost. Let's say that same person, that hypothetical, had been diagnosed with brain cancer while they were on active duty, and it's service connected, and they pass away from it, which is unfortunately quite likely. You're going to have what's called service-connected cause of death. That's a $2,000 benefit. You go through the process, filling out the forms that Christian has in his hand, dealing with the funeral director. They're going to give you a receipt for for the money that you pay. You take and submit that with this application to the VA, and they're going to reimburse up to $2,000. Other benefits include, obviously, memorial markers, a flag, presidential citation for their service. So hitting some of the highlights, keep this in mind. If you or a loved one, you may even be planning your own if you know that your time is coming soon. And unfortunately, God bless you, we're with you, we'll say a prayer for you, but know what your potential benefits are. Have your DD-214, Christian knows that's your discharge document showing honorable service. Deal with the funeral home, like this beautiful place we're at right now, Fountainhead. They're going to help you process some of the paperwork. So what we've done here is just highlight some of the benefits available to you or your loved one as they near the end of their life, or if they've already passed away. And I think it's good information whether you're young or old. If you have somebody that served in the military and is passing on or has already passed, even if you've already done the service for your loved one and didn't know anything about these benefits, if they have honorable paper, then guess what? You can still make the claim for reimbursement of some of the costs. $300 for a non-service connected cause of death, up to $2,000 for service-connected cause of death. And the folks will help you with all the forms and paperwork, because at this time in your life, you don't need to be dealing with that kind of mess. Let me segue into something for the living. You're alive, you're fully functioning, death is not on your doorstep. Be advised, there are several insurance programs that are important. I'll just go through them very briefly. If you're on active duty, SGLI, Servicemen's Group Life Insurance, is contributory. In most instances, on active duty, there's an offset. That will provide your loved ones, whether it's your surviving child or your spouse, money when you do pass on. Very important. And you can now transport that into your civilian life, particularly if you're a longevity retiree. The other thing, if you're on active duty right now, you can contribute to what's called SBP, Sierra Bravo Papa, Survivors Benefit Plan. This is good insurance because you contribute into it. It develops as an annuity, which is cash back every month upon your demise. Keep this in mind, though. Usually you're going to be a longevity retiree, but with the vast number of changes they've made toward the entire retirement program, you want to get the particulars. I'm glossing over. We're highlighting for you. SBP is a good program. Without it, if you pass away without any service-connected disability, your spouse won't have any income. If you do have a service-connected disability, whether you're edging towards retirement or you're already out, you have service-connected disabilities that may contribute to your cause of death down the road, VA offers what they call RH insurance. You're going to get that letter from Philadelphia saying, did you know that you're eligible for this benefit? It's contributory. Here's the thing. A lot of folks can't get life insurance when you're a service-connected disabled vet for that very reason. You've got problems that are going to last your lifetime. So the VA, if you can, latch onto it. A lot of things come into play, particularly when you get to the level 100% disabled. God forbid you do, but if you are, then you must have this RH insurance. And for the second $10,000, and again, Congress is literally, as we speak, changing the rules on this to the better, to the betterment of all of us. But there is a waiver of the premium for that additional policy that they offer you. So you'd be a fool not to take advantage of it. Somewhere between $78 to $100 a month is what you'll pay for the part you do have to provide the VA money for. Develops cash value that you can even draw from. All right, you can go and via fax make a withdrawal for some of the monies that you've paid into that you may need, whether it's, all of a sudden you find yourself needing some school clothes for your children, or a car engine blows up, whatever. You can access that money. It's a 5% loan. Still, it's a great benefit. Be advised you need to do that. The other thing I'll mention about SBP, and we're kind of wrapping this all into one regarding life insurance policies, Survivors Benefit Plan while you're on active duty, contributory. When you exit the military, there is potential for you to continue paying on that. And then when you pass away, your spouse is going to receive this benefit. However, if you pass away from something that was determined to be service-connected, a service-connected disability, then your spouse or surviving family member, whether it's a son, daughter, whoever, is going to be eligible for what's called DIC, Dependents Indemnity Compensation. And there's a lot of qualifiers behind that. But if you pass away from a service-connected disorder, they're going to be eligible for DIC. So it's very important that you get into that sea of information at va.gov and just look up DIC, Dependents Indemnity Compensation. You know, that website's very good for a lot of things. You just have to have a little primer. You have to have some little go-to point. So that's what I'm telling you regarding any of these benefits. Literally go to their search box and type in those few initials. SBP, VA will tell you about it. RH Insurance, they'll lead you to the Philadelphia insurance site. DIC, you're going to go right to the Veterans Benefit Administration and get some great information there. A lot going on in this little blurb that I'm putting out, but it's just to give you a primer to highlight, as my producer always says, some of the information that's available. So please take advantage of it. And I know if you go to avet-project.org and click on the menu, you're going to be able to see all of your benefits. Just click on those things and you'll be far better off for having done that. Garen Cohen, American Warrior Radio, with my good buddy Christian, DJC Money, out. Hi everyone, it's Garen Cohen with American Warrior Radio. I'm here with my good friend Christian. We're here to deliver a very important message about a crisis in our land.
Suicide prevention, more specifically, veteran suicide prevention.
22 a day are taking their own lives. This must stop. This can't continue. If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, please know that God has tomorrow planned for you. Don't take your own life. And just remember, suicide is a permanent solution
To a temporary problem.